Welcome back. Today's exciting coin countdown is all about the most valuable United States 5-cent coins. In this article, we are looking at the top 5 rare and valuable nickels from different years, mint marks, and conditions that collectors are searching for. Some of these coins may look ordinary, but in rare condition, they could be worth thousands of dollars at auction. From old silver nickels to rare minting errors, these 5-cent coins have become treasures in the world of coin collecting. So make sure you stay until the end because the number 1 coin on this list is truly incredible. Let's get started first up to 1963. The United States Jefferson nickel, also known as a 5-cent coin. Even though millions of these coins were produced, some examples in unusual or damaged condition still attract attention from collectors and auction buyers. In this video, we will explore the history of the 1963 D nickel, its special features, why damaged examples can still be collectible, and how much some pieces have sold for in today's market. The 1963 D Jefferson nickel was produced at the Denver Mint in 1963. The D mint mark on the reverse side identifies Denver as the mint location. This coin belongs to the Jefferson nickel series that began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel design. The obverse features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse shows his famous home, Monticello. The coin was designed by Felix Schlag, whose initials are associated with the Jefferson nickel series. By 1963, the United States Mint was producing huge numbers of coins because of growing demand in commerce and circulation. The Denver Mint struck more than 276 million 1963 D nickels, making a very common issue overall. However, despite the large mintage many 1963, D nickels were weakly struck due to overused dies and rush production. Because of this, sharply detailed examples became much harder to find later on. The 1963 D Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. On the front of the coin, you can see Thomas Jefferson facing left, along with the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." The reverse displays Monticello with the words "E pluribus unum," Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. One important feature collectors examine closely is the staircase on Monticello. Coins with clearly visible steps are called full steps nickels. These are highly prized because most 1963 D nickels were poorly struck and lack full detail. Coins with full steps can sell for dramatically higher prices than ordinary examples. Another interesting detail is that some 1963 D nickels show minting errors, such as double dies, weak strikes, die cracks, or planchet defects. These unusual characteristics can increase collector interest, especially if the coin has an eye-catching appearance. Now let's talk about damaged condition coins, because this is where things become very interesting. Normally, damaged coins are considered less desirable than clean, uncirculated examples. Coins with scratches, corrosion, dents, environmental damage, or heavy will usually sell for only face value. But in the world of coin collecting, there are exceptions. Some damaged 1963 D nickels attract attention if they display rare mint errors, unusual toning, or historical circulation wear. Collectors sometimes enjoy owning coins that tell a story through their condition. A damaged nickel that still shows strong details or rare full steps can remain collectible despite its flaws. In fact, many collectors search through rolls of nickels hoping to discover overlooked varieties. Online coin communities often discuss how condition rarity affects value. Some collectors note that high-grade 1963 D nickels become surprisingly scarce in top certified grades because so many examples were heavily circulated over the decades. A heavily damaged coin without special features may still only be worth 5 cents to a few dollars. However, a damaged example with a rare minting error or strong full steps details could attract much stronger bidding interest at auction as, how much is a 1963 D Jefferson nickel worth today? In ordinary circulated or damaged condition, most coins are valued close to face value, usually between 5 cents and $1. Common worn examples are easy to find because of the enormous production numbers. Coins in better uncirculated condition can sell for several dollars, especially if they have sharp details and attractive surfaces. According to market guides, standard mint state examples may range from around $2 to $30 depending on grade. Now here's where things become exciting for collectors. High-grade full steps examples are extremely rare and valuable. Some certified full steps 1963 D nickels have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. One famous auction result reached approximately $9,200 for a high-grade full steps example. Even non-full steps high-grade coins have achieved impressive prices. Auction records show certified examples selling for over $1,300 in elite mint state grades. For damaged coins specifically, values depend entirely on the severity of the damage and whether the coin has any collectible features. A damaged coin with no special traits may be worth only face value, while one with a rare error could still command collector premiums. If you own a 1963 D. Jefferson nickel, there are several things you should check carefully before spending it. First, inspect the coin under bright light and look closely at the steps on Monticello. If the steps appear complete and sharply separated, your coin could have full steps potential. Second, examine the surfaces for unusual errors such as double lettering, die cracks, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws. Even damaged coins can carry valuable minting mistakes. Third, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning often lowers collector value because it damages a natural surface and texture. Fourth, if you believe your coin is rare or unusually well preserved, consider professional grading from a respected grading service. Certified coins generally attract stronger prices in the marketplace. Finally, remember that condition matters greatly in coin collecting. Many ordinary nickels become valuable only when preserved in exceptional quality. The 1963 D. Jefferson nickel may seem like a simple 5-cent coin, but its story is much more fascinating than many people realize. Produced during a time of massive coin demand in America, this nickel became one of the most common coins of its era, yet hidden among the millions of. Next up, the 1953 United States 5-cent coin with no mint mark, especially in dirty or heavily circulated condition. At first glance, this coin may appear common and worn out, but collectors know that even damaged or dirty vintage Jefferson nickels can still carry historical importance and collector value. In today's video, we will explore the history of the 1953 nickel, its unique features, rarity, collector demand, and the auction market value these coins can reach in dollars, even when they're not in perfect condition. Make sure to stay until the end because some 1953 nickels have sold for surprisingly strong prices. Depending on condition, appeal, and rare varieties, the 1953 Jefferson nickel is part of the long-running Jefferson 5-cent series first introduced in 1938. The coin was designed by Felix Schlag, whose portrait of President Thomas Jefferson became one of the most recognizable images in American coinage history. The reverse side features Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, located in Virginia. The 1953 nickel with no mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, coins minted in Philadelphia usually did not carry a mint mark, which is why collectors identify these pieces simply as the 1953 no mint mark nickel. In 1953, millions of these nickels were struck for circulation across the United States, and they became a regular part of everyday commerce during the post-World War II economic boom. Because these coins circulated heavily for decades, many surviving examples today are found in worn, scratched, dirty, or stained condition. Dirt buildup, discoloration, and surface damage are common because the nickel alloy used in these coins reacts over time to moisture, oils, and environmental exposure. Even though many are heavily circulated, collectors still enjoy searching through old collections for better examples or possible rare varieties. The obverse of the 1953 nickel features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1953. Since this version was minted in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark visible next to the date. On the reverse side, the coin displays Monticello, Jefferson's historic estate. Around the building are the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The coin is made from a copper-nickel composition and weighs 5 grams. One important detail collectors examine is the strike quality. Some 1953 nickels were weakly struck, especially around the steps of Monticello. Full steps nickels, where all the steps of Monticello are clearly visible, are highly prized among collectors and can command major premiums. Even in dirty condition, Collectors often inspect these coins carefully for double dies, repunch mint marks on Denver or San Francisco issues, and unusual minting errors. Although the no-mint mark 1953 nickel is generally common, rare error varieties can increase value dramatically to in dirty or damaged condition. The 1953 no-mint mark nickel is not considered extremely rare because the Philadelphia Mint produced over 46 million examples that year. However, collector demand still exists because the coin is now more than 70 years old and forms part of the classic Jefferson nickel series. Many beginner collectors enjoy collecting older nickels regardless of condition because they are affordable and historically interesting. Dirty condition coins are often found in estate collections, inherited jars, flea markets, and old bankrolls. While heavy wear lowers the value significantly, some collectors still buy these coins for album fillers or bulk vintage nickel collections. Auction demand becomes much stronger if the coin has unusual toning, attractive vintage surfaces, or a visible mint error. Even a dirty coin may attract attention if the date and details remain readable. Some collectors specifically search for original unclean coins because harsh cleaning can reduce value more than natural dirt or toning. The biggest factor is eye appeal. A naturally aged coin with honest circulation may be more desirable than a polished or chemically cleaned example. This is why many experienced collectors recommend leaving old coins untouched until professionally evaluated. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1953 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel in dirty condition. In most heavily circulated or dirty conditions, these coins are generally worth between 10 cents and $1. Coins with strong wear, scratches, corrosion, or dark staining usually stay near the lower end of the value range that a better circulated example with clearer details and original surfaces may sell for around $2 to $5, especially if collectors need it for a Jefferson nickel album. Coins graded in uncirculated condition can be worth much more, often between $15 and $50 depending on quality. The real excitement comes from high-grade full steps examples. Some certified 1953 no-mint mark nickels with full steps have sold at auction for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because of their rarity in pristine condition. Professional grading services like PGS and NGC play a major role in determining these premium values. If a dirty 1953 nickel contains a rare mint error or unusual striking variety, the value could increase significantly. Certain double die examples and off-center strikes have sold for impressive amounts in specialized auctions. If you own a 1953 no-mint mark nickel in dirty condition, the first tip is simple. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can scratch the surface and destroy the natural patina collectors prefer. Even if the coin looks dark or unattractive, leaving it in original condition is usually the safer choice. Next, inspect the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for sharp details, strong lettering, and unusual features like doubling or striking errors. Using a magnifying glass can help reveal small details that may increase value. It is also important to store old nickels properly. Keep them in coin holders, albums, or protective flips to prevent further environmental damage. Moisture and improper handling can reduce long-term value. Collectors should also compare recent auction sales before buying or selling. Prices change depending on market demand, grading, and overall condition. Professional grading may be worthwhile for coins that appear unusually sharp or rare. Finally, remember that coin collecting is not only about value. Coins like the 1953 Jefferson nickel connect collectors to American history and everyday life from decades ago. Next up, the 1964 D. Jefferson 5 cents coin in black shade condition. At first glance, many people might think this is just an ordinary old nickel with dark toning or environmental damage. But in the coin collecting world, even heavily toned or blackened coins can attract attention depending on the condition, rarity, and overall appearance. Some collectors search for unusual-looking coins, while others hunt for valuable mint errors and rare conditions that can turn an everyday pocket coin into a surprising collectible worth real money. The 1964 D. Jefferson nickel is especially famous because it was produced during a major period in American coin history. Millions of these coins were made, but certain examples with unusual color, sharp details, or rare minting characteristics can still command strong prices at auctions. In today's video, we'll explore the history behind this coin, what makes black shade examples interesting, how collectors value damaged or dark-toned nickels, and the current auction prices these coins can reach in dollars. The United States introduced the Jefferson nickel in 1938, replacing the older Buffalo nickel design. The coin features President Thomas Jefferson on the front and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse side. By 1964, the Jefferson nickel had already become a familiar part of everyday American life. During this period, the United States Mint was producing huge quantities of coins because of increasing demand from the public and concerns about coin shortages. The D Mint mark on the 1964 nickel means the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1964 alone, the Denver Mint produced over 1.7 billion Jefferson nickels, making it one of the highest mintage years in the series. Because so many were made, most 1964, D nickels are very common today. However, condition always plays a major role in coin collecting. Coins with unusual appearances, dramatic toning, or unique damage patterns sometimes gain extra attention from collectors who specialize in oddities and visually distinctive coins. A black shade condition usually happens because of long exposure to moisture, chemicals, dirt, smoke, or underground storage. Over decades, the coin surface can darken significantly, giving it a black or charcoal appearance. Some coins develop natural dark toning, while others become damaged from environmental exposure. The difference between attractive toning and actual damage can greatly affect the coin's value. The 1964 D. Jefferson nickel has several recognizable features collectors look for. On the obverse side, the portrait of Thomas Jefferson appears facing left, along with the word Liberty and the year 1964. The small D Mint mark is located to the right of the date. On the reverse side, the image of Monticello is displayed prominently with the words 5 cents and United States of America. One important feature collectors examine is the coin strike quality. Because the Denver Mint produced such enormous numbers in 1964, many coins were weakly struck. Fully detailed examples with sharp steps on Monticello are harder to find. These are known as full steps nickels and can sell for much higher prices in black shade condition. Collectors often inspect whether the dark appearance is natural toning or environmental damage. Natural black toning can sometimes create a dramatic and attractive look that appeals to collectors of toned coins. If the coin still has visible details underneath the dark surface, it may remain collectible. However, if corrosion or heavy damage is present, the value usually drops significantly. Some 1964 D nickels are also checked for mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or die cracks. A blackened example with a genuine mint error could become especially desirable because unusual appearance combined with rarity often attracts specialized collectors. Although the 1964 D nickel itself is not rare due to its massive mintage, black shade examples in collectible condition are less common than ordinary circulated coins. Most darkened nickels are considered environmentally damaged, which generally lowers their value. However, there is still a niche market for coins with dramatic natural toning or unusual appearances. Collectors often divide black shade nickels into two categories. The first category includes naturally toned coins with smooth dark surfaces and visible details. These may appeal to collectors who enjoy unique toning patterns. The second category includes coins with corrosion, rough texture, or heavy environmental damage. These are usually worth only face value, unless they have a rare error or exceptionally strong detail remaining. Auction demand becomes much stronger if the coin has full steps, brilliant strike quality under the toning, or a rare mint error. In recent years, toned Jefferson nickels with attractive dark colors have gained popularity online because collectors enjoy owning coins that look different from ordinary silver-colored nickels. The condition of the coin still matters greatly. A black shade nickel with readable lettering, strong design features, and limited surface damage will always attract more attention than one with severe corrosion. Some collectors even search through rolls of old nickels, hoping to discover unusual tone examples that could become conversation pieces or resale items. Now let's talk about the market value of the 1964 D. Jefferson nickel in black shade condition. In most cases, ordinary damaged or heavily blackened nickels are worth only their face value of 5 cents. However, values can increase depending on eye appeal, detail, and collector interest. A circulated 1964 D nickel with light black toning and decent visible detail may sell for around 50 cents to $3 on online marketplaces. Coins with darker but attractive natural toning can sometimes bring between $5 and $15 if collectors find the appearance appealing. If the coin has strong details and is certified by a grading service as naturally toned rather than damaged, the value may rise even further. High-grade examples with full steps designation can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, though these are extremely rare and usually not heavily darkened. Mint error coins are where prices can become very exciting. A 1964 D nickel with a major error and unusual black toning could potentially sell for $50, $100, or more depending on rarity and condition. Some rare Jefferson nickel errors from the 1960s have achieved strong auction results because collectors compete aggressively for unusual pieces. Next up, the 1960 D Jefferson nickel in rusty or heavily damaged condition. At first glance, many people might think a rusty-looking nickel has little or no value, especially since Jefferson nickels are extremely common. However, collectors know that even damaged coins can attract attention depending on their condition, errors, unusual toning, and historical importance. In today's video, we will explore the history of the 1960 D 5-cent coin, its unique characteristics, why some collectors still search for damaged examples, and how much these coins can sell for in today's auction market. You may be surprised to learn that even a worn and rusty-looking nickel can sometimes bring in more money than expected. The 1960 D Jefferson nickel was produced at the Denver Mint during a period when the United States economy was growing rapidly after the 1950s. The Jefferson nickel series had already become one of the most recognizable American coins since its introduction in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1960, the Denver Mint was producing massive numbers of nickels for everyday circulation, and over 192 million 1960 D nickels were struck. Because of this huge mintage, the coin is generally considered common in circulated grades. The D mint mark on the reverse side beside Monticello indicates the coin was struck in Denver. During the 1960s, most nickels entered circulation quickly and were heavily used in commerce. Many surviving examples today show scratches, fading details, discoloration, corrosion, or environmental damage. Rust-like surfaces are usually caused by exposure to moisture, chemicals, soil, or improper storage over many decades. Although nickels do not technically rust like iron, corrosion can create dark brown, orange, or rough surfaces that appear rusty to collectors and casual owners. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1960 D Jefferson nickel is its classic mid-century design. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson with the word Liberty and the date 1960. The reverse displays Monticello with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum Monticello 5 cents and United States of America. The small D mint mark can be seen to the right of Monticello on coins produced in Denver in rusty or environmentally damaged condition. These nickels often develop unusual textures and colors. Some coins show deep brown toning, black patches, green corrosion spots, or rough surfaces caused by oxidation and long-term exposure. While severe damage reduces value for most collectors, some hobbyists are fascinated by unusual toning patterns or extreme circulation wear. Coins with dramatic appearances sometimes become conversation pieces, especially if the date and mint mark remain visible. Another feature collectors search for is the possibility of mint errors. Certain 1960 D nickels may contain repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, or weak strikes. Even if the coin is damaged, a visible mint error can significantly increase collector interest and auction value to in normal circulated condition. The 1960 D Jefferson nickel is not considered rare because millions are produced and many still survive today. However, collector demand changes depending on condition and uniqueness of each coin. Rusty or damaged examples are usually worth only a small premium over face value, unless they have special characteristics. Collectors of error coins and environmental damage examples sometimes purchase unusual nickels for educational collections or novelty displays. Coins recovered from the ground, shipwrecks, fires, or old abandoned buildings can gain attention because of their story rather than their grade. A heavily corroded 1960 D nickel with a dramatic appearance may attract niche buyers online, especially on auction websites where unusual coins often generate curiosity. The rarest examples are high-grade uncirculated versions with strong luster and full details. But even damaged coins can become collectible if they display rare minting mistakes or extraordinary toning. Some collectors intentionally search through old jars and rolls hoping to discover unusual damaged coins that stand out from ordinary circulated pieces. Now, let's discuss the current market value of the 1960 D. Jefferson nickel in rusty condition. In most cases, a heavily circulated or rusty example without errors is worth between 5 cents and $1 depending on how severe the damage is. Coins with only light discoloration and readable details may sell for around 25 cents to 75 cents to beginner collectors. If the coin has attractive dark toning, unusual corrosion patterns, or a unique appearance, it could sell for $2 to $5 on online marketplaces. Collectors sometimes pay extra for coins that look visually interesting despite the damage. A 1960 D nickel with a visible mint error in damaged condition may sell for $10, $25, or even higher depending on the rarity of the error. Repunch mint marks and major strike errors are especially valuable. Meanwhile, pristine uncirculated 1960 D nickels certified by grading companies can reach auction prices from $20 to over $100 in top grades such as MS 66 or higher. It is important to remember that condition plays the biggest role in determining value. Severe corrosion, holes, bending, or missing details usually lower prices significantly. However, collector curiosity in online auctions can still create surprise and demand for unusual examples. For collectors interested in 1960 D. Jefferson nickels, the first step is to carefully inspect the coin under good lighting. Look for visible mint errors, unusual toning, or strong remaining details. Even a damaged coin can become valuable if it contains a rare variety or striking mistake. Avoid cleaning the coin aggressively because cleaning often reduces collector value further. Many beginners mistakenly polish old coins to make appears dark or rusty. While most examples are only worth a small amount above face value, certain coins have sold for surprising prices in auctions due to their uniqueness and collector demand. For coin enthusiasts, every old nickel tells a story of circulation, history, and survival through decades of use. Whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist, searching through old coins can still uncover hidden treasures. Thank you for watching today's video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more rare coin discoveries and valuable coin market updates.